Bill Gates, the billionaire tech mogul, known for his wealth and influence, decides to go undercover as a homeless man. What could possibly drive someone like him to take such a drastic step? What shocking truths will he uncover about society and himself? Stay tuned, because you won't believe what happens next. Trust me, you'll want to watch until the very end. Our story begins on a bustling street in Spain, where the sun shines brightly over a city filled with life. Bill Gates, dressed in ragged clothes and with dirt smudged across his face, takes a deep breath. He's about to step into a world he has never truly experienced, the world of homelessness. Why would he do this? To understand the struggles faced by millions, and to learn how he can make a real difference. But little does he know, this journey will change him forever. Before this day, Bill had always been surrounded by luxury. He had never had to worry about where his next meal would come from or whether he would have a safe place to sleep at night. But today, all that changes. He looks at his reflection in a shop window and barely recognizes himself. This is not the Bill Gates everyone knows. This is someone vulnerable, someone who feels the weight of the world on his shoulders. As he steps onto the street, he feels a mix of anxiety and determination. Will people see him? Will they treat him with kindness? Or will they ignore him like so many others? With every step, he realizes that he is about to face a harsh reality. A reality that many people live every single day. Bill finds a spot on the sidewalk and sits down, trying to blend in. He watches as people rush by, their faces buried in their phones or lost in their own thoughts. It's overwhelming. He feels invisible. But then, something surprising happens. A woman approaches him with a warm smile and hands him a sandwich. "I thought you might be hungry," she says gently. In that moment, Bill feels a rush of gratitude. It's a reminder that kindness still exists in the world. But as he continues to observe the people around him, he notices how most people avoid eye contact. Why is it so easy for them to walk past someone in need? Have they become so accustomed to ignoring those who are struggling? After spending some time on the street, Bill decides to push his boundaries further. He spots an upscale restaurant nearby and wonders what it would be like to enter as a homeless man. Could he even get through the door? Curiosity gets the better of him, and he takes a deep breath before stepping inside. As he walks in, heads turn. The hostess looks at him with disbelief. "Can I help you?" she asks, her tone dripping with condescension. Bill swallows hard and asks if he can have a meal. The laughter from nearby patrons echoes in his ears as the hostess shakes her head and tells him to leave. Feeling humiliated, Bill exits the restaurant with his heart pounding. This experience hits hard. He realizes that wealth creates barriers that are hard to break down. How could people be so quick to judge based on appearances alone? What if they knew that behind this facade was one of the richest men in the world? As Bill wanders the streets feeling defeated, he reflects on what just happened. He thinks about how society often equates worth with wealth. It's not just about money. It's about dignity and respect. He begins to understand that homelessness is not just a lack of shelter, it's a loss of identity. He recalls stories he's read in the news about homelessness and poverty, but realizes that reading statistics is nothing compared to living it. Each person has their own story, their own struggles. It makes him wonder, how can someone like him use his resources to change this narrative? Later that evening, while sitting on a park bench, Bill meets Carlos, a man who has been living on the streets for years. Carlos shares his story of losing his job due to an economic downturn and how addiction took over his life. As Bill listens intently, he feels a deep sense of empathy for Carlos. "You know," Carlos says, "people think we're all lazy or made bad choices, but it's not always that simple." His words resonate with Bill. He realizes that understanding homelessness requires looking beyond stereotypes and recognizing the complex web of factors that contribute to it. As days pass, Bill faces challenges he never anticipated. He experiences hunger firsthand, relying on food from shelters and kind strangers. Nights are spent shivering under bridges, where safety is never guaranteed. One night, as he tries to find a quiet corner to sleep, he witnesses an altercation between two homeless individuals over belongings. Fear grips him as he realizes how fragile life can be on the streets. He thinks back to his own life, how protected he has always been, and feels a pang of guilt for every time he overlooked someone asking for help. Despite the hardships, there are moments of connection that shine through the darkness. Bill begins to form bonds with other individuals experiencing homelessness. They share laughter and stories, creating a sense of community amidst adversity. One day, while sitting around a small fire with newfound friends, Bill learns about their dreams and aspirations, things they once had before life took unexpected turns. It's heartwarming yet heartbreaking at the same time. How can society neglect such potential? As his journey continues, Bill starts to feel a shift within himself. He realizes that he has been given an incredible opportunity, not just to observe but to learn and grow. He begins documenting his experiences in a small notebook he managed to keep hidden. Each entry becomes more than just observations. They transform into reflections on humanity and compassion. He finds himself asking deeper questions. What does it mean to truly help someone? How can we create lasting change rather than temporary fixes? With only a few days left in this undercover mission, Bill feels an urgency to make every moment count. He reaches out to local organizations working tirelessly to support those experiencing homelessness. He volunteers at shelters, helping serve meals and distribute clothing. Each interaction reinforces his belief that small acts of kindness can make a significant impact. He begins to see the ripple effect of compassion, how one person's kindness can inspire another. Finally, after living this life for several weeks, it's time for Bill to reveal his true identity. He gathers everyone he has met during his time on the streets, Carlos included, and shares his story with them. The shock on their faces is priceless. Many are moved to tears as they realize they have connected with one of the world's most powerful individuals without ever knowing it. Bill expresses his gratitude for their honesty and resilience, vowing to use his platform to advocate for change. Following this transformative experience, Bill Gates takes concrete steps toward addressing homelessness. He collaborates with local organizations in Spain and around the world to develop programs aimed at providing resources for job training, mental health support, and affordable housing. His newfound understanding fuels his passion for philanthropy even more. He realizes that real change begins with empathy and action. Now, let's pause for a moment here. If you're enjoying this eye-opening journey and want to hear more incredible stories like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Join our community as we explore real-life stories that inspire change. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. We have so much more coming your way. As Bill reflects on everything he has learned during this undercover mission, he understands that true wealth isn't measured by money, but by the impact we have on others' lives. He vows to continue advocating for those who feel voiceless and forgotten. His experience becomes a catalyst for change, not just in his life, but in the lives of countless others as well. He begins speaking publicly about homelessness and sharing stories from his journey. Before we wrap up today's video, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned together. Every person has a story worth hearing. Every act of kindness has the power to change lives. What can you do today to make a difference? Whether it's volunteering your time or simply offering a smile to someone in need, remember that compassion goes a long way. If you found this story inspiring, or if it opened your eyes to the realities of homelessness, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is your chance. Join us as we continue exploring impactful stories from around the world. And don't forget to click that notification button. You won't want to miss our next adventure. Thank you for joining me today on this incredible journey into the life of Bill Gates as he went undercover as a homeless man. Remember, every little bit helps make our world a better place. Until next time, stay curious and compassionate.